Equipment check. What's required?
Still sharp.
What's recommended?
First thing, loosen those lug nuts with that 22mm socket. Then raise the front of your truck until the wheel is just off the ground. Let's play it safe and put a jack stand up under it. And now take the wheel off. New brake pads does not mean you need new rotors every time. Okay, we're going to remove 5 parts: this clip, this anti-rattle spring, this pin, and this pin. Here we go. Go ahead and vent the cap on the brake fluid reservoir so the fluid is not under pressure when we spread the pads.
Behold his mighty hand!
If you're not changing your rotors and you're only changing your pads, go ahead and skip ahead to 4.5 minutes right now. Okay, take that brake line bracket off with your 12mm socket and socket wrench. Now with the breaker bar, you're probably going to need it, and a 17mm socket. Loosen the 2 bolts that hold that caliper on. Have your zip tie, your cable ready, because when we remove this bolt, the caliper can now fall free, and we do not want to damage any of the brake lines. So, using that zip tie or cable, what have you, go ahead and lasso it to some parts just above. Alright, now we remove the rotor. You should be able to tap it off by just hitting it repeatedly, gently. You'll see a bunch of brake dust and rust fall free. Or you can back it out with screws in those 2 holes I just showed you there. Some brake free like PB Blaster will also be very helpful. I recommend using some anti-seize right here where the new rotor is going to mount up, and it's just going to prevent it sticking in the future. Okay, let's reinstall that caliper and be very careful not to let it fall free. Again, we don't want to damage any of those brake lines. Once that caliper is back on there, let's snug it up to 90 foot-pounds. Hey, all the hard stuff's done. Now let's just get those pads in there. We're going to use some of that supplied brake grease that your pad should have came with, at least OEM pads do. And go ahead and wipe it on the outsides. Never put it on the inside. That pad with that silver tooth right there goes on the inside, and the tooth of course goes out to the left while the pad makes contact with the new rotor. And here's your outer pad, just like that. Okay, now we're going to reinstall all 5 brake hardware components, and I really recommend that you buy new ones. Don't reuse your old ones. They could be bent, dinged up, just worn down over time, heat, etc. Plus, new ones are cheap as crap. You might have to finagle the pads a bit to get those pins in there. You can use a hammer gently, never bang it in, never force anything. Ask yourself these questions. Did you put all 4 clips back into the pins? Did you close your brake fluid reservoir? And did you torque everything down? If so, congrats, you are done.